champagne, grab one. We'll get started in just a couple of minutes time. And of course we also have some of our senior officers hanging around, so if you see some more golden stripes, go say hi. They are pretty important if you've got so much gold on them, so might as well take a picture with them as well. But we'll get started in just a couple of minutes.
This is she. This is she. This is it.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, please, with a massive round of applause, welcome the celebrity of the celebrity freak, the inspirational, the incomparable, Captain Kate McHugh. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we promised you celebrity and she has arrived. We're so thankful that you have taken the time out of your schedule, Captain Kate. Thank you for coming down. And of course, I have promised you that we'll be unveiling her special collection and of course the Kalati Edge collection as well. So not just the Captain's collection, the fantastic Kalati Edge collection as well. But I think, Captain Kate, you probably want to say a couple of words about your collection, seeing that it is about you and your life. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give another massive round of applause for Captain Kate.
We're going to do the microphone. Oh, I don't like the microphone. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Thanks so much for coming out. So, the first thing that I always say is it is not in the captain's job description to come down and hawk jewelry. That's just a wonderful perk. But the reason that I do get involved with the Kalati collection is because in 2015, when I was promoted to captain on the Celebrity Summit, Rayu Kalati, who's the president, I knew I was going to go. Can I just speak out at you? Yes? Okay, good. So Rayu Kalati, who is the president and CEO of the Kalati family, she was sailing on board the Celebrity Summit as a trunk show. And it was one of her very first trunk shows. But she asked if she could sit down with me and find out the story of me becoming a captain. And I said, absolutely. So we sat down, we had a chat, and during the conversation, she was drawing the whole time. And at the end of the conversation, she showed me what she had drawn, and she had several different designs of jewelry based on my life. And I thought that was the end of it. But she took those drawings up to her room, she put them on the computer, she put them into CAD and something called Coral. She brought me the mock-ups the next day. I said, again, these are amazing, but I didn't expect anything further. A year and a half later, she came back to the Celebrity Summit, and this time she came with her mother and her 3 daughters and the Captain's Collection. Now, she was on board last week with the Captain's Collection, and she's relaunched it, she's revamped it. So there are now 3 collections in one. The piece that I wear all the time is what I call the signature piece, and it includes all 3 of those collections. It has the ropes and the knots collection, it has the anchor wheel collection, and the Celebrity X. But just a brief history on this particular piece, because it does contain all 3 of them. The shape of this pendant is a ship's wheel, and that's to represent what goes around, comes around, and the circle of life. On the outside of the circle are the sapphires, and the sapphires represent something I call my marble mission. The marble mission is from my best friend's uncle, Uncle Bob, who passed away in 2014 from pancreatic cancer. Now, when Uncle Bob was a kid, he collected marbles. So when he passed away, they had coffee cans full of these marbles. And whenever the family would do something they thought Uncle Bob would enjoy, they would leave a marble behind. I knew I was going to be traveling a lot in my upcoming travels as captain, so I asked my best friend's father if I could have some of those marbles. He gave me a jam jar full of the first 14. The very first one I placed on the 122nd floor of the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. There is one in a souk in Oman, the Chinese fishing nets and coach in India, the canals of Venice, the walls of Dubrovnik, a glacier in Alaska. It goes on and on. I'm about to 67 marbles. But every time I leave a marble, I take something from the place that I leave it, and I hashtag it on Instagram so people can follow along, and it's like a geocaching legacy. And it's really cool when we go to Prince Edward Island up in Canada, and people go, yes! And people go into Anna Green Gables' house on the 2nd story in her sewing room and can find the green marble at the top of the buttons in the mason jar right next to her sewing machine. Have you found it?
No, but I will look down.
You find it. Because guests would come back and show me this picture of this marble. So it's something that keeps that legacy to my best friend's uncle going. So that's what the outside of this is, the sapphires. Now there's an X that runs right through the center of this piece, and the X is